Welcome to the MSP Corner podcast. Before we kick off our show, we would like to share what our main objective is at the MSP Corner. Our main goal is to help CEOs build profitable and self-sustainable IT service firms. We are not just providing tools for IT firms, we will be sitting in meetings with you to ensure your IT firm stays on track. The first area we are focused on, strategic sales. IT firms are stuck selling technology or IT support. We will provide you with the blueprint so you position your firm as an added value to your prospects. We will have framework on how to sell value so you influence the prospect into selecting your firm. The second area we see many IT firms struggle in is marketing. 90+% of businesses rely on antiquated marketing methods. The most popular choice, word of mouth. We have proven methods on how to attract the ideal prospect. Our framework will include how to become the online authority and be the business influencer for an industry. The third component to our package, scaling. IT firms walk away from opportunities because they lack the bandwidth or skill set to scale. We have lined up reputable businesses so our members can hire on-demand resources that will allow them to scale their business. The fourth area we will offer help in, selecting the right tools. In order to deliver value, you need the right tech stack. Our platform will offer information on products that are the ideal choice for MSPs. The fifth area we will offer help in is with documentation. Templates are a critical component when building an MSP. We will have contracts, proposals, SOWs, collateral, and much more in the template section. You will have every document you need to start up your managed IT service business. Thank you for tuning in. Let's go to our next podcast. Thank you for tuning in to another MSP Corner podcast. I am your host, Fernando Leon. And today we have a guest from Arete. It's a company that and Sri will be joining us on our call. But before we start, we always have an agenda of what we're going to discuss today. And we're just going to do a quick introduction on Arete and Sri Jeff. Get a little background on Arete, the value they offer MSPs. How is Arete different from competition? Their ideal client profile, customer engagement, and then we're going to share their URL at the end so you guys can sign up or go check out their website. But quick intro on Sri. Sri has been working with IBA for the past 14 years. He is one of the first employees and started working as campaign and data manager. He currently manages the data side of the business and coordinates with sales teams about customer success and experience. And on the company Arete, they are a custom database marketing firm engaged in marketing data collection and information. They also help companies deploy and manage email marketing campaigns. So let's dive into this with Sri, because can you walk us through services and products that Arete offers your clients?
Hi, Fernando. The main service that we offer is, the database marketing itself. So we build custom email database market lists for anyone who wants to reach out to other businesses. So we are focused mainly on business to business lists, and that we can help any customer to reach out across the globe. So we maintain databases across the globe, and we also help customers to deploy these email campaigns because uh, our process doesn't just end by just send them a list and can figure out what you want to do with that, but we help them set up campaigns, or even help them with creators if they need in the deployment. We also offer services where the customers have existing data and it has become old and people have moved out, so they need updates to that, so they need cleansing to that. So we even take up those kind of works.
Okay. I yes, no, I think your group has provided me with a list that we're very happy with.
But when you say you help them with their email marketing campaign, do you guys have a platform that allows them to send emails, or is this just basically mainly you're just providing that will target a specific industry? But can you elaborate a little on that?
So we offer both. First one is where we have our own in-house platform where we send out the entire campaign from our service. So that's one. The other one is, where we help customers to set up an account with, other email service providers like SendGrid or Mailgun. So it's a little tricky to set up your email systems with these service providers because a lot of customers are not aware on how to do their DNS management or the DMARC management. So we help them do all of that and get them set up with these third-party service providers also, and they can manage the campaigns themselves. So it can be managed for the transactional mails also and for the campaign mails.
Got it. Okay.
But
Um,
some customers already have things like HubSpot or Marketo, so they can just load the list into their platform and get going with it.
Nation that where you guys cleaned up their database. Very happy with the results. So I appreciate you taking care of the group over in Texas. So, but I want to give everybody a good illustration as to how you differentiate yourself from other businesses in the market
Uh-huh.
because you provide us with a list. But what makes you guys so different from other competitors?
The biggest difference is, we provide the list based on customers' requirement. There are a lot of other providers in the market right now, but most of them have an online platform, and you just sign up maybe for $50 or $100, or there are even expensive organization like ZoomInfo or Dun and Bradstreet. So they just give you an access to a platform, and the customer has to figure out how to get the data, export it, connect to their CRM and things like that. But what we do is we talk to the customer. We have an account manager who will identify your target market, get back to you with a sample, and then figure out if it's the right fit for you. And then we build the list as per that. And another differentiating factor is every time you place an order, the list just doesn't come immediately to you. We take about 7 business days, 5 to 7 business days typically. We verify this list, before sending it out to you. So we will do a LinkedIn cross check also sometimes, where we append the LinkedIn information along with the contact details, and only then send out the list to you, which you can directly load into your CRM or marketing platform. Whereas other service providers would just give you a login and a list. Maybe if it's a building a list, like you can just download the list, and you don't know when it was verified or when it was last emailed to and things like that. So that way your marketing spend ROI is reduced, because every bounce back that you receive or every postal campaign you send out, any returns, these are just waste of money. So this is much reduced with our systems.
Got it. Well, let me ask you this. So when you provide your customers with a list, do
Mhm.
you guarantee that X percent will be accurate? Because some of these lists are they can be, have old information. So how do you address that concern, right? Do you guys guarantee 90% of the list is going to be accurate? What is that percentage that you guarantee clients?
Yes, our accuracy is currently at 90%. We are able to achieve that only because we verify the list just in time before delivery out to you. So even though we give you a count of 1,000 records or 1,500 records, we typically will have access to about 2,000 records. And from the 2,000 records, we filter it out, we verify it just prior to delivery, and we would typically deliver about 1,500 to 1,600. We would plus or minus give about 5% extra on every data, because just in case there is any additional bounces. For example, I do a verification today, and the guy left the job tomorrow. By the time the list comes back to you, there's a high chance that the email will bounce, right? So to
Hmm.
cover up those kind of things which is beyond our control, we always include an additional 5% in the list. So that way you're pretty much covered. We are always within the 90% accuracy.
Got it. Got it. Okay. All right. Um, so who do you mainly work with? Like, who is your target audience and how do you services to meet their specific needs?
So we mainly work with companies who are engaged with other businesses. So it can be a business service company or a manufacturing firm or a service provider firm. We mainly build and maintain business to business records. That's our main line of business. But
Okay.
in case there's a customer who's looking for customer list, like B2C list, we do have third party vendors who are able to support them. We've been working with them from a long time, so we can guarantee the quality of the list. But our major bread and butter or the major service that we provide is to B2B. So B2C will be through third parties.
Got it. Okay. All
Mhm.
right. This seems like a one-time transaction, or do you keep your audience engaged after they purchased, let's say, your product? How do you keep your audience
Uh-huh.
engaged?
So the
Be wrong. So go ahead.
yeah, sorry. So the major thing with data is, data is something that's always constantly decaying. Uh, Even though you buy a list today, after 1 month, you can always expect about 3 to 4% decay on the data already. So first and foremost thing that customers usually come back to us is for updates of the data. So we can work with customers to provide them quarterly refreshers or half yearly refreshers. So we remove all the ones who have moved out from the organizations or the companies which have shut down or no longer in business. So we would replace them with fresh contacts or flag that these are bounced and there's no point in emailing out to you, and we'll give an update. And we also provide customers where we can help them out with their campaign services. So in case they want to deploy a campaign and they don't have a creative, we can help them get to an agency who will create the custom creative for them, and we can also help them deploy it out. It can be either through our servers or help them out to set up an account with SendGrid or any of the third party services and deploy the campaigns.
Interesting. That's good to know because I figure that okay, once you set up a is this like ongoing? Okay, so if I buy a list from you
Mhm.
and in 6 months I determine, oh gosh, I we had 1,000 companies on this, 100 of them are the information is inaccurate or they're bouncing. Do you guys replace those even after 6 months, or is there like a time limit?
So our initial deliverability quality, the guarantee that we provide is within 30 days, where we have the
Okay.
90% accuracy. So
Okay.
post 6 months, if there is a refresh needed, we would refresh the database and provide it back to the customer. But there's a charge associated with that because you cannot give a long-term guarantee, right? Especially because things are so fluid and data keeps changing every day. So the guarantee what we provide is for about 30 days from the date of delivery of the list,
Okay.
and
Okay.
after 6 months, when they want an update of it, that's on chargeable basis.
Okay. No, that's good to know. Okay, great. No.
There are packages that we work with customers, where we sell them a list, and we'll tell them we'll include a quarterly refresh or a 6 monthly refresh. That is also done. It
Awesome.
depends on the volume and the kind of criteria they have.
Sure. Sure. No, no, that makes sense. Um, so let me ask you if if because IT service firms, the CEOs or the people that work at IT service, they're not very creative. And if they bought a list targeting, let's say, the medical industry or the biotech industry, would you guys be able to help them with the messaging for that industry and the service that they offer? Or do you guys just set up the campaign to on an email platform so they can be delivered? You just got to punch in the information. How does that work?
So we do both. So in case the customer wants help with the creative and the campaign messaging, we can get content writers to write the message out for them, and also have the HTML creative built for them. But all these are additional services that we offer. So and in case they don't want to do it, we can just give them the list. So it's all up to the customer on how and what he wants to what wants us to do.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Okay, that's great to know. Yeah, it's email marketing is a is very effective if gotta have you gotta deliver value in your message. And if and I'm going to encourage the CEOs who listen to these podcasts. I'm going to encourage them that they need to target one or two industries and then really nail down a message of value to those industries, because it'll help them not only generate more interest but also help them close more opportunities. Because when you're the expert in an industry in today's
Absolutely.
world, right, they want to work with the experts, not a jack of all trades who is not really an expert in their industry. So yeah, it's important that that they get first an accurate list and a specific industry, because it'll help them close more business. Do you see more success that way, or what's been your experience?
Sure. So, what I would say is, it's been a curve, I would say. When we started off IBA working, the email databases and the email campaigns were really through the roof. Everyone were reaching out people through emails and things like that. But then the
Uh-huh.
social media took over. The performance marketing was much higher. People were spending a lot of money on that. But after the recent changes, especially with the AI coming in and things like that, the performance marketing has actually come down. Social media marketing has come down, where people are not really spending a lot of money on that, especially in B2B segment. Because when customers are going and searching on Google for something, the answer is right there. They are not really going to Google and searching. They are rather going to ChatGPT and asking the question. So the the AdWords usually doesn't have so much of response these days. So email campaigns, the benefit is you have a direct access to the inbox of the decision maker. So
Hmm.
you send out the message directly and the reach is much higher, I would say. But you would need to do a constant reach. uh, you never know when there's a requirement. Unlike performance marketing, where there's cookies stored on the system and it shows the relevant ads every time. Email marketing needs consistent, repeated approaches. You never know when the requirement is, so it's always better to send out a newsletter or an intro mail or a brand awareness mail at least once in a month. So
Mm.
that way you stay always in front, and that gives you more awareness and more leads. And cold
Got it.
emailing still works, I would say. In fact, we generate our leads in house for through cold emailing, and we do help a lot of businesses generate the leads. It's
Awesome.
still extremely effective in B2B segment, I would say.
Nice, nice. Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, no, we have a very we have a very structured approach to with our with our email, our digital approach. So,
Mhm.
and I agree with you. You need to have a very structured approach, a great list messaging, or
True.
these campaigns aren't going to succeed. But I want to ask you real quick. You said something very interesting, that you feel that people are now going to chat GPT for information on, let's say I wanted to find a list, a company that provides me with a list. Are you saying that chat GPT, people are companies are going to chat GPT and saying, give me the best list company
Yes,
out there? Really?
they are. That's one of the reasons why Google has even accelerated their Gemini out, right. So now,
Okay.
whenever you type something on Google, also the first answer is usually from Gemini, because
Oh,
they had started to lose out on the ad revenue what was coming in.
okay. Okay. Wow. Wow. That's so interesting. So interesting.
In fact, I was just talking to one of my friends. He works in a social media firm. So he was telling me about it. ChatGPT is
Uh-huh.
now used even by them to figure out places of interest, and even companies. The other day they wanted to get a list of companies, and he was saying one of his colleagues was getting him a list of companies just from ChatGPT. So
Hmm.
ChatGPT gives you an answer for everything pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. We use ChatGPT heavily for content creation
Absolutely, yeah.
and yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it does a lot of work, especially in the content space. It's gonna make a lot of them run out of business for sure.
Well, Shri, I really appreciate you making time for us. I'm going to share your website with our listeners where people can come and contact you. So they should go to
So,
www.infobiz, biz, biz dash or hyphen arete.com. And I'm going to post it. I'm going to post your URL in the description of our discussion today. And I'm going to turn this into a short form video on what we've discussed today. But I really appreciate you making time for us.
Sure, perfect, no problem at all. It was great speaking to you.
All right, great speaking with you. You guys, you have a great day. And let me just sign off real quick here. But
Sure.
before I sign off, just stay on the line for just a second. But to everybody, thanks for listening, and don't forget to sign up to be a member on the MSP Corner site. You go to www.com. Please share our link with the CEO to their IT support business. All right, everybody, have a great day.
Thank you for listening, and don't forget to sign up to be a member on www.mspcorner.com. Please share our link with a CEO who will find our information beneficial to their business. Have an awesome day.